kind of know our alignment already. We were doing it yesterday. We are all the left corner again. Take my left foot.
Kick it down his crotch.
Okay.
Yes, take your outside foot, you kick it down his crotch, you split him 50-50 to the inside. That puts him up inside. And our knees are square, yes? They're never knees out. Because you give them a short edge to the up. Or an outside release.
Okay.
Alright, so we're always squared up. We're not the knees out stuff.
Good.
Alright, so if I'm in base tight hand, I'm up in this state, he'll be here. Alright, take my left foot, kick it down his crotch.
So obviously I'm the left corner.
Alright, I like my feet just about under my armpits, but what I do is I turn my
I like positive shin angles. I just naturally did that before it was ever taught. Just when I was a corner in tight man. Because I was allowed to what? You can feel yourself bounce around in there, you're able to move.
Right.
You're able to move. You can always push off one instep or the other. Yeah. So I just kind of naturally did. You'll see a lot of DBs do that. If you watch game tapes in the NFL, their knees are rarely what? They're rarely ever straight. They're always kind of turned in
a little bit.
Because they're on the inside half of their foot. Okay?
Yeah. Very good. Very good.
All right, play it, meet.
Just because what I've got the ability to do is bounce again. I've got the ability to bounce. And when I pick it up and put it down here in a second, I pick it up and put it down and jack my instep down. If I'm punching, it's supposed to be in there.
This is the second day after
I've got to open
learning
up.
to play the feet.
I can push off.
What did we do the first day?
All feet.
Okay.
Trailer. Tight man.
So we're not doing that.
No, wrist on the end.
You know, the inside half of my feet, my knees are in.
Because that's a lot of the feet on your chest around.
Alright? Don't get them all the way over. Pull your ass straight to the ground.
Don't get your chest on your quads, but you don't want your shoulders back a mile like in the shimmy.
Right.
Find a medium, huh?
Right.
Get on a 45.
Want to be if I walk your back all the way. First off, it's tough to move from here. Second off, is to run my ass over. Alright? Get a tilt. 45-degree tilt. Our hand. They can either be in the holster or by the knee. Don't have them out in front of you early. Alright? If you can slap off, if it's good slapping off, you will.
You understand that?
If not,
Because if you put them out early, they slap off.
Right.
The only time we'll ever put them out early is we're going to take them away and then punch.
Right.
So we'll get to that later.
Okay.
I like my hands by my knees. So they're either by the knees or a little higher. Between knees to the holster, somewhere in there. Alright? Our eyes are on the belt. Okay, our eyes are on his belt. You don't want them on the feet initially, that brings my shoulders over. Alright, our eyes are on his belt in alignment. Walk up, kick down the crotch. Give me a good stand. Give me a 45-degree tilt. Don't be honking over. Don't be back too far. Get on the inside edge of your feet, you can feel that down from here. Don't lean back, don't be flat-footed, you're more stiff.
You can never kids try that. If they're on flat-footed, they try to move around in the hips. You're a lot more stiff than when you get on the inside half of your feet. You can bounce around.
Okay.
Hear that? Good. Let's go. Partner up. Partner up. Rally up. Hey, a big thing.
How about Coach Pat?
Coach, your high school would be great for Al, too. And it would be great for my man, Nick. Now, let's go to FU.
What's nice about this part, you'll see how you take all your DBs and get this taught in mass. The coaches are the DBs.
Hey, when you play tight end, listen to me. When you play tight end, stay on the corner on Brian. When you start to line up, you got to keep your eyes right around the line of shooting. Especially if you're against the flanker. The smarter ones, if they see tight man. If they see tight man in their face, and you don't ready a flanker, they'll back up, reset. Before they start to count, before the corner comes up, he's already offside before the ball spikes. You sort of look down the line, make sure you're cutting.
That's huge.
Can you do that? If I'm a receiver, I know I'm playing maybe 2D man under. So say we both start on the line. Before he snaps the ball, maybe I just take a step back and now I'm off the ball. Just to see if he'll walk up.
Well, we always taught that to our flankers, but
right, so a flanker.
But not our slots. But the flanker, oh yeah, we saw
somebody.
That.
Right.
Yeah, because in high school, what happens if you encroach the neutral zone? They'll throw the flag right on the snap. I mean, before anybody makes contact, ain't it?
Right.
So you always want to look down the line on the flanker side if he's back to make sure I'm not over the ball. Okay.
And that's big. A lot of times we'll come up I'll turn to the rep and kind of make sure I'm okay. And he'll let you know if you ask him, sir.
Yes.
I'm okay. Yes. But you got to do it quick. You don't want to snap the foot.
We're going to say stand. Get you stand. When I say rock, you start to bounce back and forth by the instep. Feel the ability to rock in here. All right? Don't be flat-footed. You'll be stiff. You can try it from here, and then you can instep it. You'll have a lot more bounce.
That is true.
All right, what we're doing, we're just establishing our lever to the inside and right now.
Magic.
All right? It's a two-way step.
Pick it up, put it down.
Pick it up, put it down.
Just hold yourself
No
in
matter what
there.
you does on the snap, whether it goes inside, straight ahead, or outside. Pick it up, and put it down.
Get the other part
First
out.
thing that's going to happen is this. Receivers, we're not moving.
I guess.
All right? DBs, take a look at my feet. All right, I'll do it from both sides.
Always the inside
You're
foot.
always
Pick it up, put it down. Jack, instep in the ground, turn it down.
So you can be
All right?
firm. If you ever tried to come inside and I punch with the inside arm, I've got my anchor right there to kind of hold me in there. All right. Plus, if you ever took off outside, I could push off of it.
So that's going to be your initials.
Pick it up and put it down. If I'm in tight man, I'm in his space. All right, because there's certain things we can do.
Right.
We can be off the ball, go up yard, whatever. If I'm in his space to start, we pick it up and put it down. Your inside foot, 2 inches. Because we're always talking about you starting on an inside leverage, now reestablish your second one right now on the snap. As soon as he moves, I don't care if he starts outside, inside, straight ahead, or some guys in college will almost step back to try to get you coming forward, then they'll go right around you.
Right.
Be patient.
Right.
You've got to be patient.
Boy.
So however he takes off, I'm going to pick it up and put it down.
Yes. Okay.
Inside foot. Ink.
All right, I don't want to be flat-footed. I'll take a roll. I can roll from here. All right, I want to be on my instep. That's going to hold me in there. A 2-inch jab step, get your instep in the ground. Step, jab. Pick it up and put it down. Hold myself in here. All right, I don't need to be too quick to go. You can be cook-off outside. I would open up, get to a tip. I don't need to cut it off up here. You don't want that. You can get up here. Okay, pick it up, put it down. 2-inch jab step. Step. Jab. Jack it down. 2 inches. Get your instep in the ground. You understand that? Now, what's going to happen? All right, they're all independent now. All right, receivers, it's up to
So
you.
what happened every time they were going, every time it was set? Hit! They pick it up and put it down.
They're going to do that.
Now you start to let them be independent. Wherever, let them line up. Wherever the receiver steps, pick it up and put it down. And sit there for a second. Don't pick it up and pop it back. Always. Don't pick, just anytime we do anything independent. Over-exaggerate. Pick it up, put it down, stick it there for a second, then bring it back.
Then bring it back. I can see that would help too. Now, the guys I'm working with have improved greatly in not lunging at the receiver.
That's big. Let him come
and
to
that
you.
will help keep them from doing that, won't it?
That's
Right.
Right?
Pick it up and put it down.
That's,
Absorb him like a sponge.
yeah. Well, they hear that from Coach DJ a lot.
You can step inside. Take 1 step, receivers. BB, it don't matter to us. All right, straight and go. As soon as you take a step, any direction, pick it up and put it down right now. All right, here we go. Take a look at me. Step. Pick it up and put it down. Pick it up and put it down. That's all we want. You're all independent. You guys understand that? Now, let's start to get into the punch. All right, the initial punch. As he comes inside, all right, and what I'll show you guys here in a few minutes is that what I teach my guys does this. All right, when we punch, as we jack and step down, I punch with the inside hand and come in at the same time. Keep my elbow in tight, so I need my elbow to my rib cage, in here. All right, I've got a 90-degree break in my elbow. Don't get it extended. First off, you stop. Second off, you slap off. All right?
Keep that break.
Keep it tight. You hit
Keep
with
that
a nice
break.
hand.
All right, and another thing we'll show our kids too is this. If I come up here, and you can almost use your inside hip, you could press, as I punch, if you bring your elbow in tight, your elbow should be coming up to you, to the outside part of your stomach.
Right.
You can take the biggest guy you want, have him lean on you. He's not moving. He's not breaking this. But as soon as you bring your elbow out, right into you. All right? We took the guy at Ohio Northern, I forget his name, the offensive line kid. huge. Kid's like 320, right? We were talking blocking, but it's almost the same principle. Chad.
Black hole.
I said, go ahead, put all your weight on me and lean on me, right? You can't break this. As soon as your elbow starts to come out, he's right in there.
Stand right up by the overhead up there and show it to us again, so make sure he has this on it. This is huge.
I don't know if you can see it
Yeah,
or
I
not.
can.
But with when I punch, the elbow's in tight, yes?
Right.
If you bring it in tight enough, it comes what? Right to your stomach.
Exactly.
All right? You can use this as what? Almost an extra hold. As soon as your elbow starts to what? Come out, it's getting right into you.
Right on.
And we want to keep this separation. Don't get locked. Right? Slap off.
Right.
Okay? That's the
Very
biggest
good.
thing. Don't let your kids get locked up. They'll slap off. So if I do it right, if I punch inside, what? It comes into here. As soon as he hits me, it's into here.
Very good.
Okay?
Yeah.
And I'm firm in there.
Good. Very good.
Stop. It's like when we punch in any kind of technique. Alright? When we punch from here. With a toe line, knee line. With two hands shucking and we roll. I gotta roll into him. Alright? Punch from here. Come out of the lap. Alright? And what Bill was talking about the other day coming out of the lap, when I shoot out straight, you'll feel it a hell of a lot more when you've got an elbow break. Alright? You should feel that pop. You should feel that pop. Just squeeze your lat. Feel that pop. You can see the bounce. You know what I'm saying?
See those guys just walked in? They're not on WW time either.
Hand is open.
Always
Alright?
a knife,
It's
huh?
not.
Always.
And the big thing too, when you're teaching your kids to punch on there, when I first started teaching my kids the knife at Mare Mesa, there was one kid who was starting a corner, but he almost had he was too firm up in here. So when we talk about the punch, almost have your fingers bent because you're gonna punch and latch on.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? You don't want them thinking like karate chop
Right. Okay.
as much. So don't be too stiff with your hand. I tell them when you punch with the knife, like give me like an elbow break, like what you're latching on.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. Very good.
Alright. Alright. And after this. Now on jab, give me the knife.
Now I arch my chest.
Give me the knife.
Yes, my shoulders come from a 45, and I arch my chest slightly.
Alright, jab equals, pick it up and put it down, and a punch. Alright, pick it up and put it down, and a punch. Receivers, you got to go ahead and turn around. We're all doing this on air. We're all doing this on air. Receivers, you guys are DBs as well now. Okay, so we're all going. I don't. Good, another one tight.
See, we need more of an arch, way over
Fixing it, don't turn your head. Don't flip your hips in.
Pick it up and put it down.
Rotate.
Quick.
Alright, he's going to take a step to my inside now.
Now we come up, we add the punch on the shield.
What'll really help, get Dave to invest in it, go to Walmart, get some life vests. Shields are a little wide. What happens when you teach a punch on tight man, if you put them in life vests, they can't get too wide, you know? They got to punch into the vest. It's really good, boy, because where you're basically trying to get them is right under where those shoulder pads end, you know? Into that nice fit,
Right.
you know? But if you haven't ever done that, you're going to see us use the life vest tomorrow and other things, but those are a great thing to do. You can get them at Walmart and get some cheapies like that, like $12 a pair or something.
When we punch to the inside pec. Yes?
Yes.
Bring in the inside hand, punch to the inside pec, the inside number.
Hold the shield, take a step inside. I'm going to pick it up, put it down as I punch. Alright, as I punch. What we're punching for is this set. Alright, what we're punching for is this set. Alright, we're trying to see our inside, you don't want to let them in there. Alright, if he gets inside, you go to warfare, and we'll go over that later. As we started to do last night. Alright?
What I was saying is if you started ink, if he does get inside you, ink just became orc. You know what I'm saying? So I start inside, I start here, he happens to get inside. Started inside man technique. He starts to get inside, now I just come, now I just stay on his top hip, his top shoulder. So ink just became more.
Right.
Alright? Don't try to get all the way back under, you're going to end up what-faced asshole. We don't want
Right.
you there. Alright?
Very good. Yes.
So ink becomes orc if he beats you inside. So then all we were doing was adding a punch on the shield.
Here. He's not. started to do last night. All right? Anytime after step, you're going to take a step. Pick it up and put it down, give you the knife. Elbow and tight, sit there. Give me a pause. Here we go. Anytime after step. Step. Pick it up and put it down, give me the knife. All right, here we go. Step. Give me the knife. And all we want is elbow and tight, you pop it with the knife in your hand. We understand that now, so I got a bag. I'm already there. So if he's holding the bag, I'm offset now. Sit. Here. He's not moving. Anytime after step, give me the knife.
We didn't have enough shields.
That's all we
So
want.
you stand that back, Tim.
This hand stays in the holster. If he comes back out for a second, I'll show you how we'll pop that with the other hand. All right? And the other hand. Real quick, hey, when we punch, all right, hey, when we punch, our shoulders should come back a bit. All right? Keep more to the arch now. Okay? Keep more to the arch. Don't keep them over before you down. Give me that arch. And then what that still allows us to do is hit a bit.
Because if you keep your shoulders over, it's just trying to get in, gonna slap on you and pull you straight in the ground.
Right.
It's just like in block protection, or a receiver stop blocking. Right. If my shoulders are over too far, or more so as a receiver, if he comes to stop you and his shoulders are over, as a DB, I can just pull him straight in the ground.
Exactly.
All right. It's the same thing. But we're on defense. As I step and punch, give me that arch. Because if not, he's not going to slap off. He's going to take your shoulders and pull you.
Punch, sit there for a second. We don't want to punch and retract. All right? Punch out. Hey, listen to what he's saying. We want you to punch and stay on there for a second. I don't want to retract right now. You're trying to secure our inside. You want to calm me down.
See, what happened was they were all going independent, yes, but they step and punch and pull back. Step, punch, and be firm. Right? Don't retract right now.
Right.
Because I don't want
reload.
to ping off in the game. He'll just open up your inside shoulder.
Right.
Right. I see.
This is bitch. You got these guys here. He's got guys in the stands. This is a bitching thing. But this thing is thorough, I'll tell you. In fact,
Yes,
when he
it
got done, I was ready to buy myself a dinner.
Happen is this. All right? He's going to take a step. Keep on coming. Keep your mind inside. Jab, punch. Yes, keep your mind inside. Force him over the top.
Now, when we do this, explain this to your shield holders. All right? When we first start teaching this stuff, shield holders, you can't make it inside. Because we got to teach him what happens. He doesn't get inside, force him over the top. Now I chew his hip from there. But if all they ever do is work like hell and they keep getting inside, well, what happens when I finally do stop a guy, he doesn't get inside, now I force him over the top, they got to know what they're doing.
Right.
And that's what we want to, give them a little bit of confidence anyway to begin with.
I see, yeah.
Pick it up, put it down, punch. Shield holder, don't get inside. Now bounce back on top, I got to come down, chew his hip, play his feet. Do we know what chewing his hip is already, yes?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
I may have. I don't know. But
We never showed you how to chew the hip. The tight man, staring at his feet, baseball cap down,
oh yes.
chew his hip.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, it was the same as a linebacker hug-up man.
Yes.
Right, playing his feet, he chops, I chop.
Yeah,
man.
he breaks, I'd come under, read his feet. What's nice, if you have a smaller staff, teaching tight man after you got past it to linebackers and DBs is identical.
Okay.
Teaching trail man and two deep man under for the under and the corner is the same as the linebackers because they have two deep help so they can stay a full man back. That's what we're going to cover next.
Okay. Yeah, I know that.
Any doubt, if that's not covered after you see this on this tape, we'll be glad to show it to you tomorrow out in the field in the morning.
All right, now let's start to come on top of me. Working here now. Okay? After I jab and punch, he starts to work inside. Just roll into it. Chew his hip. All right, so we've got to get that transition now. From the jab and the punch, it starts to go. Go. Open up. That's why I got my instep down. Open up. Get to his hip. Chew his hip. Play his feet.
And big thing when you chew his hip, stay inside, huh?
Right.
Don't start getting face to asshole or even your right eye on his cheek.
Right.
You gotta stay inside a little bit.
You guys had taught me that.
Transition now. From the jab and the punch, it starts to go. Go.
Now, why we make him grab him in that near pocket and get an elbow break so I can learn what chewing the hip is. That's tight man to man. Now you can't hang on to him in the game, but we do that to keep relative. Then in the game I'm just naturally sprinting. and I just keep scraping his palm with my near dorsal side of my hand as I'm staring at his feet. Okay?
Yeah.
Down. Open up. Get to a tip. Play it straight. All right, here we go. Get further up. You guys can go as slow as you want till you get it. All right? Well, here we go. Set. Roll into it now. You a tip. Work them up above you. You understand that? Here we go. Kick it down the crotch. Good. Staring at the belt now. Here we go. Set. Good plunge. You a tip now. Play it straight. Good.
Have your kids with the shields give them a little bit of pressure inside,
Okay.
because the receiver's going to look like a dog to get inside.
Right.
If that's where the receiver's running some kind of slant or crossing route underneath.
Yeah.
Right? So have them give a little bit of pressure and then work back out. Don't just let them punch you stop dead and then go around.
Okay.
Here. I punch. If he starts to work, slide my hand back down and keep it. I don't want him to stay here and on his head. All right, if he comes inside, break that down and throw. Don't be taking the hip. When you chew, you take the finger. All right, here we go. Kick it down the crotch. Give me a good stand. Here we go. Step. Good. All right, now, hey, what some of you guys are doing when you're picking up and putting it down, you step it straight. Don't step straight.
Step parallel.
All
Right? Don't get it ground, just step parallel.
All right, you just put it down, Jack. It down right now. Don't step straight.
Because the big thing is, if I step straight to punch, right, and he does get inside of me, look how far I got to go now. Rather, if I step parallel, he got inside, I can just open up.
Right.
But if my foot's in front, top here,
Yes,
stiff,
you will get caught face
You'll
to
get
asshole now.
real bad.
Yeah.
All right, if I step parallel, he goes, well, I'll just open up to it.
Right.
Okay, so the big thing, don't step straight, step parallel.
I noticed there's a couple of guys that just did a pivot with their feet. They're not going to be able to do that with cleats anyway out there. They need to step into him as he goes breaks outside, right?
We
You know what you
roll
were saying.
back to it. No, it's actually pivot with the back foot, but I'm already on my inside. I have my foot. You just kind of
Just kind of push
pivot
off.
on it.
Right.
Right.
Now, so your players understand. Every time he has them come up and kick through the crotch, that's just to get lined up in the drills. You're not going to do that in the game.
Right.
You're just going to get lined up.
Right.
Right ahead. Pick it up, foot down. Here we go. Set. Good punch. Good. There you go. Good. Good.
Why
Keep your
I put-
elbow tight even
yeah.
when you're chewing the hip.
This is
Attention
why you
to
put it on
detail.
there. Stare at this first kid.
Right ahead. Pick it up, foot down.
Watch this first guy. When you're chewing the hip, right? Our big term, look at me. Don't put wing on him.
Okay.
Keep your elbow in. You take a look at this guy. As he starts to trail in tight man, he brings his elbow out. He puts the wing on him. What that does, that gets you face to asshole, plus he can beat you inside. Okay? So just take a look at this guy here.
Good punch. Good.
See his elbow already out? Just keep looking at his elbow now. If you put the wing on him. Now I'm gonna tell you something. If this guy was going shallow straight across, you would be face to asshole. Don't put the wing on him. That's a great training tape there. This guy's chewing the hip, but he's got his eyes up. You want your eyes down. You want to bend, looking at his feet, right? He's going where his feet go. But that is a highlighted training tape there, because that's what you don't want. Plus, now if he pushes up to go, you're going to lose him anyway in terms of separation, right?
No. All right. Check it out. Now we do this for
Now, does this have all the shot breakout, all the cat?
In the game. Good
No, it's
hat.
on this one.
All right. I kick it down the cross. He starts to my inside. Don't. I give him a good pop, but don't move. Let him make it now. Keep coming
Just to
inside.
say what?
Now
If he got inside, I got to know what I got to do now.
Right.
Right? So even if I can beat up on the guy in practice, give him a good pop, but let him get inside, just because if it ever happens, I got to know what I got to do.
And what happens?
So you got to work it.
Ink becomes orc.
So ink just became orc.
Now I'm chewing his other hip.
Don't move. Let him make it down. He's coming inside. Now I got to see him. Ink just became orc, didn't it? Play it free. All right? Ink just became orc. All right? So if we want, we can start to push him inside and just break it straight up the field. All right?
See, I don't know if it's on here or not. What happened was the day before when we were teaching him how to chew the hip, every time I came up to the receiver, this is before we taught him anything on how to punch. All right? Let's get to the end result first. Because it doesn't matter as much what happens up here. It matters what happens down the field. Chew his hip. Get to where you got to get to. We can do 100 different things up here. Right? So say this was the receiver. All right, I'm the corner on the left. I'd come up, I'd kick it down the crotch. Now I'd step inside. I'd get him in to chew the hip fit, just to tell him what I was a tight inside man.
Okay.
All right? Now, so we teach him to chew the hip. We teach him to chop and all that stuff, yes? I come up, I kick it down the crotch. Say what? I was a tight inside man, but he beat me. Now we come to the other side. I'm an orc.
Okay.
All right?
Yeah.
But to say what? I started here, something happened to where he got to me, yes? He beat me. Now I come over here, it's orc.
Okay.
All right, so the differences are now, if he broke out, I'd roll under. Yes? If he broke in, I'd have to break under.
Right.
Whereas in tight inside man, if I was in ink, if he broke across in, I'd roll under. If he broke out, I'd have to what? Break under. Okay, so those are the differences. All right.
Very good.
Let him inside. Now give him a good pop, but let him make it inside on purpose. This isn't what we want in the game, but it's going to happen to you. You better work it. All right? Ink becomes orc. Here we go. Set. Chew his hip. All right, that's what we want. Here we go.
Keep your elbow tight, your eyes on the speed, huh? Play his feet.
He gets it. Elbow inside. Elbow inside. All right, we don't want our elbow wide to collapse now. Elbow inside. All right, we got the punch here. All right. Now what some guys do, you release it to my outside. All right, let's come near hand right now. You release it to my outside, I pick it up and put it down. Go, let's come near hand right now.
Now let's pause it real quick. There's a couple ways you can do this. You can always teach your kids to pick it up and put it down and punch with the inside hand, whether he releases that way or not. Okay? If your kids are good enough, if he did release outside, is I pick it up and put it down with my inside foot, I bring the outside punch.
Right.
Okay? Now that's up to you. If you don't think your kids can do that, I just what? I pick it up, put it down, punch on air, even though he released
Get up
outside.
here more. Get up by here showing that.
Right.
Right, so say I was in tight inside man here, receiver releases outside. I could just, what, pick it up, put it down on air. Now as he comes, I could just, what, start bringing this hand and get there, and chewing his hip. Okay?
Right, okay.
Or, if he released outside, what, pick it up and put it down and bring the offhand. Okay, so it's up to you how you want to get that done.
The problem is, if you let him use the hand to the side escape and he goes outside, if you miss, and you don't get your hip slipped, you're face to asshole right now, and he's by you.
Right.
So your hands got to be really good. I'll show you some cut-ups of both later on.
I pick it up and put it down, I'm going to pop here. And then I can come back here real quick.
That's
so
what
they get the habit of doing it. You know what I'm saying? And then when they get proficient, they'll just start to pop here on their own. All right? So
now, when you bring the outside hand, that's the big difference. When I punch with my inside hand, I've got to be firm. All right? If I'm going to step and punch and bring the outside hand, it's more quick. Because I come from here, quick, boom, now I come right back with the other hand.
1-2.
It's real quick. And here, if he comes inside, boom, you've got to be firm. If he goes outside, it's real quick. Real quick. You ever seen touches punches?
Yeah.
We do the same thing with our DBs. You sit there, work into what? We start outside, do.
Right.
Get them quick. All right, get them quick.
Yeah, just very good.
Okay, so far we're up to 22 OKs and 17 very good. They're neck and neck.
Alright, first off, what we're going to do is we're going to do it on there. Alright, we're going to do it on there. I'm going to start here. Okay? And I'll turn around and show it from your point of view. Alright? Set. Hit. I come in here. Now stop back. I'm going to go boom, boom. And on my second one, I got to open up. Because he's taking off outside now. Alright? I got to be able to get to the cutoff with his foot. Shoot his hip.
That's what we call the cutoff. The cutoff isn't what? Cutting him off. It's chewing his hip.
Okay.
It's not getting in front of him. It's chewing the hip. But talking about getting to the cutoff is this. If he releases outside, get to the angle you got to get to chew his hip.
Right.
Don't like what? Take his path.
Right.
You take your path to cut him off, chew his hip.
Right.
How fast I can come to here now? How fast I can come to here now? Alright? Set. Hit. That's all we want. Okay? We teach our guys to pick it up and put it down, always bring it his hand. Even if he goes outside. Then we come near hand, off hand. Alright? We come with the off hand, it gets me opened up now. Okay? So I'm getting my hands on. Okay? This is what it looks like from your point of view. Here, here, here.
I have to think about it real quick. I'm like, okay, what side am I on?
Alright, that was right. Throw the dot. Now stop back and go boom, boom. Open up on the second punch now.
That's the keys that positive
Get
shin.
back to the hip. If I stay square, you can run right on it. Alright,
See that? You bring that second hand, you better open up when you bring it.
I have one foot here. I can open up, I can push off in here. Okay? You understand that? Alright, all going on there, we're all facing this way. Pick it up and put it down with your right foot, bring the inside hand, to the dot, on there. We're still on the corner on the left. Alright? Pick it up and put it down, stop back, and boom, boom. Alright? Your hand off there, open it up, and I go to the second hand now. Here we go. On your own, we'll do the opposite with weight. When we were in JC, we used 8-pound weights. You guys aren't strong enough to blind one. We'll just sit here at our stand. Alright? We'll start to punch from here. We'll start to punch
We
from
use
here.
weights.
Making our punch stronger.
Some of the kids, we just started doing it on our own. We're just holding like little dumbbells. 8-pound dumbbells, we're just walking, boom, 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 working touches, punches. Alright? And then I took that, I took touches, punches. Now we work the punches against shields. And we'll even make them do all different kinds of things.
Right.
Right, and the big thing is when we start getting to the rhythm punches, it's more of now quit thinking, just start reacting. You know what I mean? Quit thinking, start reacting. Just make it instinct. Just get in that rhythm and just get going. Because your kids will start thinking about, they get all messed up.
Yeah.
Just start doing it.
Right.
Just get in that rhythm and get going. I know it's never going to happen like that in the game. All right? But quit thinking and start reacting.
Exactly.
See, that's the difference between zone and tight man. Zone, you read slow and react fast. Tight man, you read fast, react fast. Big difference. Yes, what? Yes, very good.
Outstanding.
And you're mild.
As fast as I can go. I hold my 8-pound weight. I'm just punching here. Punching here. Making my punch stronger. Making my hands faster. Alright? Here we go. We're doing enough shields now. Go slow. Alright? Go slow. Credit to receiver.
So we obviously did it on there.
Credit to receiver.
Yep.
Alright? First off, we're just going to work the front. But it's going to take about 2 steps to the outside. You can keep the shield just offset on here. So we get the punch. Alright? Anytime after step, you can take a couple steps to my outside. Step. Here. Now I come back as fast as I can. Look how it gets opened up when I come back with the offhand. Alright? When I come back with the offhand, open up. So if he takes off, go. I got to be able to get to the hip now. I've got to be able to get to his hip. Alright? So go as slow as you want. Start on a walk. Here, I come with near hand, offhand, as fast as I can. I'm just trying to get some hands on. Alright? Here we go.
All right, kid.
Set. ahead. Good.
Because a lot of times you're going to end up punching air. That's okay. But we can want him to get what? You've got to establish the inside first.
Right.
Okay.
You've got to establish that eye on the inside.
Good. Don't punch until it takes off. Good. Now the big thing is, guys, we want to stay square as much as possible on the first punch. That's what we want to teach them. We don't want them to start to open the hips here. We don't want them to start to swivel.
That's big. When you punch, punch straight, even if he's not there. All right? Don't start swiveling your hips. Even if he's not there, punch straight. Just don't start turning here.
Because what you'll do, he'll take off. Now I'm going to open too soon, and then he's going to cross right. He's going to break right back in.
Yeah.
But isn't his talk through stuff the best? Because I'm going to tell you something. Some guys are good at coaching on the field, can't talk through very well. I don't know if it's him studying tape or what, but he's always had a knack for doing this. But he talks through tape as well as anybody I've seen anywhere. Because this stuff for you is big. Because you're going to have to learn tight man sooner or later, because they are going to get down to the goal line sooner or later. And you're going to be out of room. And you're going to have to play tight man sooner or later, anywhere.
Right.
Costa Mesa High or, God bless them, the New York Jets.
Here we go. Good stuff. Punch as square as I can here. Now I can open up. Here we go. Step. Good.
Soft.
Good. Drop.
This guy has the idea, and why put a few of these coaches on it, that these coaches are going to make the same mistake your own players make,
Now I
right?
can open up.
He's trying to think it through, but you got to be really firm on that second punch as much as the first one.
Step.
See what I'm saying?
Good. Good. Drop on the feet. Good.
You got to stone him.
That's why we always, even when we step and punch with our inside hand, we keep our what? Left hand at the holster.
Yeah, so I can bring it.
That's why we were talking about before when we talked about bringing our right hand, keep this hand in the holster so I can what? Boom! Come from here.
Very good.
Because if you punch in here and you bring this hand up, you're soft. Okay?
Yeah.
If you ever teach O-line someday against a wide edger coming off the edge and you're offensive tackle and man block, as they mat score it, as they kick it straight back, if you ever notice the good ones on pass pro, they only punch with their outside hand, but they keep that inside hand at the holster. So now if you come right back in them, that means you're coming down at the quarterback. Now they'll punch with two hands. But if you go off the edge, they'll one-arm bench you. Then if you try to counter back, now they got that other hand. So playing tight man to a DB is playing offensive tackle against a wide rusher. The same as, it's unbelievable. It's darn near the same initially.
And like I said before, sometimes what will happen, and it's not really that big of a deal, if your kid steps and punches and the guy takes off, he'll just open and gets it. Just open it. So, I mean, you just give your kids some options. Obviously, you practice this stuff. When you're practicing it, that's what you want.
Right.
Right? And when you start going live, kids will start to do what they feel comfortable with. And as long as it's sound, you know, let them do it.
Right.
Get two of them, then we'll push it up. Okay, do a little bit of practice. Here we go. Step. Good. Good.
See, I think his hands are too
Good.
high to begin with.
Push up and open up.
Right? Even if the hand's by his knees, but his hands are above.
Take your
Well,
stuff.
the Ohio kid. Well, he'll probably come up here.
Get two of them, then we'll push it up.
See, his hands are too high. You see that?
Yeah.
Either here or hang on a little bit. But don't have them here. Shoulders a little too far over. This guy's really honkered over and he's off. They're really honkered. Got to keep a 45-degree tilt.
And the good thing about why I like bringing them down to my knees is, I don't know if this makes sense to you or not, but as I bring this arm, I almost cock it back, and it seems like I'm getting a little bit more pop than if I just stayed here. Just brought this arm, and I can almost pull it back, and it just feels like I'm getting that lever rather than just from here keeping this hand
So
here.
it feels like you're getting a bit of a wind up in there.
Right. I'm
Right.
getting a coil to pop it if I need it.
Plus, with my left arm, I'm pulling up as I
like
punch.
firm. Yeah, you want to elevate him a little bit.
Very good, yeah.
Now, attention to detail. Why he's also soft. It's a shield holder. No air between the shield and my sternum.
Right.
See, he's screwing us up by holding it away. Here he's screwing us up. We're playing against the plane. Get it up, sternum height. What we're doing now, more and more, look at me. We're wrapping the tops of our arm and the top of the shield, and we're squeezing our elbows that way, and then we're putting our chin in it. So now it's going to be in the perfect place against any kind of thing we're trying to teach, and that stops this from ever happening here. And that stops that from ever happening here.
Good. Next step, push off and open out. Get your hips open. Here we go. Last time. Here we go. Step. Good ball. Good.
Guys, here his hands are a little bit better here. This kid here's a pretty good athlete right here.
Next step, push off and open out. Get your hips open.
Looks like a little John Rodriguez.
Last time. Here we go. Step.
But the big thing, don't step forward, huh? In this first step. He didn't step parallel, he stepped forward.
Comes up with the shield.
Right, that is huge.
All right, now, he takes off to my outside. He takes off to my outside. He's going to keep on going now. All right, step and jab. He goes. I'm here. He keeps on walking. To his hip. He's going to push it. He's going to chop.
Great
He's down
camera
my
work,
side. He breaks out. Goes. I break back under.
Get spoiled with Timmy around.
All right, we understand that. He's going to go. He's going to keep on walking. All right? Inside, outside, inside. Get to his hip now. Play his feet. Feet chop, eye chop, the stagger. He breaks out, I break under. We understand that? Here we go.
Now, when we chop, we're talking about what? Chopping with the stagger in the feet.
Right.
Here we go. Set. Good. Play his feet.
Now get back to chewing his hip.
Now get back, coach.
Because when you get back to there, if you ever turn it up, I can roll back under. All right? But by playing his feet, I can see his hands.
Right.
His hands come out from the cat.
Right. Very good.
All right,
Here we
Kipper.
go. Set.
Good stagger in the feet by Kip.
Good.
Chop.
All right,
His first punch has got to be more firm. You don't know when he's going, so throw it. Because he kind of put it halfway up.
He kind of put it out there.
You got to throw it. Now take a look, if you rewind it, please. This guy down here on the first part, remember, your first punch is firm. If I come with the near hand, which is the size of these two, he keeps it there too long, the guy closest to us. See, he keeps it there too long. You punch and retract and bring the other one.
Because if you bring it too slow, now if this guy was hauling, I was hauling, I'm going to end up behind him.
Right.
Whereas if I do it faster, I'm already getting to the cutoff. Can you see just by his head and body placement here? This guy's already heading for the cutoff. This guy's working back for the option pitch.
There you go. Good. Good. Play his feet. Set.
Same thing, just step forward. It's a shame too, because this first guy's hands are pretty good.
Right.
But he's stepping forward. Again, boy, I'll kill you.
Good. Play his feet. Set. Good.
Now see, in a situation like that, if I get a piece of him with my inside hand, just stay there. On back. With the kid that was just here closest to us. He punches and he gets a pretty good piece of him. Just stay there, roll into it, and chew his head. No point in having to bring the other one. Right?
Here he is now.
The guy closest to us here.
Good.
He gets a good piece of him with the first punch.
Set.
Just stay on it. See, there's no point in bringing that other hand. Now, because he's doing the drill, he's trying to do it. But if that's the situation in the game, just stay on it. That's what I was talking about. Just stay on it.
Good. Good. Play his feet.
This is huge. Why you also show them that you don't step forward, right? If I step forward and bring that hand, By stepping forward, what you're doing is making yourself soft, because you can't keep the lever in the elbow to the hip. So what you're doing, you're giving them the inside, thinking you're really taking it away. And I'll pause this so you can see it. So this is why you never jab step forward, because you're actually making yourself soft inside. Just steer to right foot. Plus his elbow was out.
And now take a look at that situation there. If this guy's first move was what, outside, if he ever slapped off and say pulled his shoulder down and came back across, that kid is all the way turned. He's running that way, my hips are this way, I'm in trouble. You see what I'm saying? If I step straight here, because his first step was outside. He only took one step.
Yeah.
Now he comes back, he pulls me down this way, I'm turned this way, he's going that way, and we're in trouble. So no matter what, step parallel, because if he stepped out and I step parallel, he can't do that to me.
That's right.
You see what I'm saying?
Very good, yeah.
See, by stepping up with that inside foot, you're already giving him a short edge outside and you're too soft inside. Does that make any sense to you? You're opening up the floodgates outside with a short edge, just like if that was an offensive lineman on pass pro and your quarterback was back here. You would never want to sit like that because you're giving him a short edge. Well, here you're giving him a short edge to the fade or the up. By stepping with that foot, also what you're doing, you're soft inside, because if you saw his elbow, because he stepped up, his elbow was out and he couldn't keep it in because of where his foot's going. Your elbow, when you punch, is going to go where your first step goes. And that is really
Which tells you what, if you're coaching receivers, you play the team that what, runs knees out, make your first step outside, slap off, pull his shoulder down, come right back under. Because you know he's soft to begin with. Right? Plus, he's giving you a short up on the up anyway.
Plus, what they have to understand too, you think stone him with that inside hand, even if he doesn't come inside. Because if you don't, if you're soft with the inside hand, even against an outside release, what happens is you get smothered. The guy's right on you, and you're chest to chest, he'll just run over you. All right, so you've got to really uncork with that inside hand, even if he's going outside, because you want to keep a little separation there, right?
Yeah.
Now, take a look at what happens if you don't. If you step at him, try to throw it, you get what's called smothered. He's right in your chest. See there?
These guys are doing a pretty good job of chewing his hip and playing his feet.
I'm not in a big hurry
Down
now.
on it the night
All right,
before,
starting to get you here.
but I'm just showing that to you.
Chew his hip. Yes.
And obviously, pick up the tempo with your kids. We're just coaches, so we're going slow.
All right, don't be hit the hip. He breaks out on the throat. He breaks out, yep.
What happened was the first guy ended up, who I'm coaching up, he ended up hip to hip when he was chewing his hip. So if I'm hip to hip, the guy breaks out, I end up what? Face the asshole.
Right.
That's why you've got to stay under a little bit.
That's right.
You guys all know? Good. Now, some of you guys need to understand. All right, when your kids start getting proficient, our big thing is don't let them inside. If he takes off outside, go, and then if they start naturally coming here first, and then coming back here, you don't mind that. All right, you don't mind that, and they start getting proficient. They'll start to do it naturally on their own. Not a problem. All right. Second off, if he steps outside, go, and the kid just comes here, and he keeps on walking, and he comes to here. Not a problem. Okay? Not a problem. But we want to teach him this for sure first. He takes off outside, and I just stay here running to his hip. Not a problem. All right? He takes off outside, and jab step and come here. Not a problem. If he came back right now, I'd come back at this end. You got to my inside, go. If you can't walk, now sit there. That's to his hip. Okay? Get to where you got to get to right now. All right? We all understand that side down. All right? Get to the cutoff right now. To his hip. All right, that is basic tight band. Now, when we get into your
Turn on the light, please. Turn off the tape a minute. Take a.
we'll go 1, 2, 3. Come right back to the quick swing. All right, you start out. 1, 2 on 3 jabs. Come right back into the quick swing. You got to know how to quick turn. You got to know how to quick turn anywhere in the secondary. Tight band. If he takes off up the field, Joe. If I get too far up top, he cuts under. I got to know how to quick turn. All right.
So he's calling deeper in the field and zone is an open center field turn. Right? When it's in tight band, we call it quick turn.
Okay.
Because it better be quick. That's your head, your eyes, your feet, and your hips.
Good point. They got to be able to do that anywhere. Right. Secondary.
No, but what he was telling you is how he changes the turn.
Right. I understand.
Hey, Matt. He's here. He started to break out. I got caught too far on top, so I'm a step ahead. All right, remember that drill where we were snapping all right back there on the climb? This has something to do with the same deal. All right, on go. We can step straight ahead with that foot, cut back under. Go. I got to hold my left hand here, my outside hand, whip it back to my opposite pocket. All right, and it is not a sharp cut.
That's
I have to
important.
round it just a bit.
It's not a sharp cut. If you cut too sharp, you're going to end up under him. And you want to end up what? On his top shoulder.
Because you're now into orc.
Right.
Orc is outside technique, ink is inside technique.
All right, it's got to be more of a round. I got to set my eyes down, find his feet. All right, you get there. This is what it's going to look like. All right, I'm too far on top on purpose. If I ever got caught here, I got to know what to do and cut back under. Set, go, take an extra step. Quicker, look around, find his feet. Shoot his hip now. All right, shoot his hip. You understand that? The other starts outside. I get too far on top, he cuts under. Quick turn, find his feet. You understand that? Everybody's up, buckle up, here we go. Allow your eyes to be lazy, man. Hey, listen up. Listen up. You got to back drive around front of this. You're going to run quick. You're going to get like that. You can't afford to be lazy. Here we go. Set. Good. That's good. Good. Back to the tip. Good. Good.
Because we don't want our kids flipping our hips back to them. It'll be too slow. All right, you'll be too slow. Now, it's almost in that same situation. If he starts outside, right, 3 steps, and I'm still under, and he comes back, I can flip my hips to do that. Right. All right, but the majority of the time, it's going to be a quick turn. Just like when guys run post corner. Majority of the time, it's going to be what? It's going to be center field turn.
Right.
It's going to be center field turn.
Right.
You're not just a hand. What we're working on is I got to ready to go on top. He cuts under. I can't afford to do it. Well,
When you get around, close back to him, huh? All right, you're going to have to give it a little bit. You're going to have to round it off a little bit. Close back to the top shoulder.
Take a look at my left hip and my shoulder. Reduce it just a bit. Give you turn. Give you turn. Reduce it a bit. Now I can find it. All right? Don't allow your eyes to be lazy.
Broom.
That's what I was going to say. God, you're killing
Hip
it.
and my shoulder.
I was going to ask you right here, what would be a good application, stationary to teach? It's like he's just turning back with the brooms, and then get him out of the brooms, but now we think brooms all year. Think brooms, you're talking to the hips and the feet. And then what he just brought up is huge, boy. You got to really snap the eyes. Your eyes can't be lazy. It's like that one kid in Moose Man, you could really see the difference between his and Kyle's eyes on that other table. You know, an off man. I'll tell you what, the application of brooms is a beautiful thing.
But you've got to, what, really reduce your hip and shoulder to get around. Don't be straight up and down.
All right? Don't allow your eyes to be lazy. They can't be.
Remember that term from the coach from Clemson? Don't be treetop tall in the crossover.
Right.
Don't be treetop tall on the quick turns.
From up top there, watching guys on the field, you can see a huge difference. One time Robbie was a little bit too tall.
But as soon as we got him in the brooms,
So
more.
he started dropping.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah,
You know, you actually start to think, if you have any kind of a focused, open mind, like he does and Kyle does, guys like that will get into it. You don't worry about the other guys if they don't, because they can be playing anyway. Non-serious. So, but you come up with all this cutting-edge stuff, buzzwords, terms, toys. Buzzwords, terms, toys. BTTs are big. Now, what Kyle does extremely well, you've got a demo as you talk it, you know, just on a walk, but they got to be full speed.
They can't be slow. They've got to be violent right now. Boom! Snap right around. Here we go. Right here. You use your hip, you use your shoulder. Good. Outstanding.
See, if you go on back real quick, or this kid right here, this kid in the gray shirt does a good job of closing back to the top shoulder. Yeah.
Here we go. Right here. You use your hip, you use your shoulder.
Get that to close back. There you go. Close back to the top shoulder.
Good. Back to the tip. See what's there. Good. Up now. All right. You're doing a job. I'm in trouble here because I'm hip to hip. But that'll happen sometimes, especially right off the line. Don't want you here now. If I end up hip to hip, you just start on the jog. Go. Anytime it feels like it, you can get back under. Quick turn. Find your feet. Do a tip. You understand that? You've been on a jog now. Start hitting the hip with them. We're going to start to go on a jog. When you feel like it, just cut back under. Quick turn. Use that hip. Use that shoulder. Snap your left arm around. Get your eyes around. Right now. Quick. Do not be lazy. If they're lazy, the ball's up and I ain't seeing it. I'm not seeing his hands. It's a big thing. What we're going to second, I play his hands. All right? Tight hand. It's not ball defense. We're playing the single foot pass every time. Play his hands. You got to start teaching your guys to shoot his hands, to look back and shoot his hands, to start playing somebody that's halfway decent. You feel me a tight end, you shoot his head. I look back, you take off. All right? Play his hands. His hands come out with
That does what? You ever play anybody that plays tight man? You've been watching my tape. So he's going to look back. I go out and up, shoot my hands, and take off. As he goes running to the boundary, take it off. Got my back.
You know what's neat? Having your coaches walk through this stuff, it's just what Kyle brought up. If you saw this guy tomorrow, you couldn't even believe it's the same guy who's dropping 10 pounds. This is a pretty good feat for a big man.
Gets his eyes around, he really reduces his hip and shoulder, and he can get around.
See, I can get that big old body around because he flipped his eyes and reduced his hip and shoulder.
All right, DB, take off, quick turn. Take your eyes down, quick. Go. Good. Eyes slow. Like that. Good ball. Good. That's the tip. Good.
See, way too sharp.
Yeah, he's just trying to spin him off. This guy was lost for 3 days.
Good. Quick, snap around. Quick.
Good. Close back to the top shoulder. Get back.
Good, yeah.
What's nice is they'll do the bat a lot on the slant. When I break back to the top shoulder, the ball's easy up. When I get back to the top shoulder, you're on the line of where the quarterback's throwing. So, I mean, you're going to see the ball coming as well.
Yes. Oops, sorry. Well, what the hell happened here?
You got to hit play and then fast forward. All right, you're good now.
Cuts under on the post. Quick turn. He just came more, didn't it? All right, cat will punch in the dog, boom, you throw straight. You throw straight, you get quick. His paws are open. He doesn't come, he has to throw around out. He's done that time. That's like that, you throw that back. Alright, they don't come up here for fun. They throw straight and quick. Alright, his hands come out, I just come attack. Alright, his hands come out,
Coaching
I
point.
just come attack. Alright?
Throw straight. Yes, you throw straight. You come up at all.
Stand up right in front of that picture and do it.
What we talk about, I don't know if you heard it or not, we talk about a cat punching a dog. Right? Because that's usually when you see a cat hitting something. Right? He punches straight. Alright? You have got my claws here to dig the ball out. Alright? You throw straight, you throw hard, you throw quick, and you throw with what? The intent to do some damage.
Right.
Which is what? Getting the football out. So here I come, his hands show, boom, throw straight and pull down right now. All right, pull down right now, because if you see a cat, he always goes, what?
Right, that's very good.
That's what we want, yes?
Yeah.
Get the ball out, throw straight, throw quick, use your claws to get his arms down. What I'm trying to do is I come here is what? Get across both.
Right.
Trying to rake.
If I get one, you get one. All right, we're trying to get him right about at the wrist. It's usually where we like it. All right, because the further up you come, the stronger he is.
Right. Very good.
All right, so we try to get him at the wrist. Drop his hands down.
Good.
Now, did you come up with that after looking at cats and our cats and dogs, or did you just start thinking? I'd never heard that.
I pulled that off one time when we were at Poway, just talking about. I was talking to Robbie when we were talking about stripping the football, how, you know, and I started talking about, well, it's like becoming a cat. It's like being a cat. You know, it was one day in practice when I'm talking about it. Trying to get it stripped better.
You got it.
I tell you, stuff like that, trust me, is worth the price of admission. Then the few times your kids get it the first year, and then you make little cut-ups of this stuff.
Oh, and it was beautiful because even what happened, it happens in zone. You know what? Our corner they pumped, and he broke, and he snapped his eyes back to the wide out, and he was going to two-hand chuck and all that. Yeah, they ran it out and up. But he slipped. So as the guy started taking off, he ended up what? In a chase mode, and this is zone coverage for us. So the guy's running. Yes? Here comes the corner. He doesn't look back for nothing, huh? He just keeps running. Here comes the ball. The guy just goes like this. Here comes the kid. He comes on a dive and throws straight, got right into his hands and knocked the ball out. So, I mean, it happens. It's zone pass coverage. I mean, because basically that turned into what? Man, you better not be looking for football.
Right.
All right, you better just keep coming. So the kid came here. Here came the ball. It came down here. It was a little low. The kid just dove and threw straight. Right when the hands came out, he dove, threw straight. Right through the hands, knocked the ball out. You know, and that's the kind of stuff we want, so the kids start to understand this stuff. And that happens in zone.
Just gonna stand here and chew his neck. As soon as his hands come up, go. Come a cat, right now. Come a cat, right now. Throw straight, keep wet. Your hand is open, you've got your claws right here. Alright, you've got your claws right here. His hands come up, go. Come a cat, right now. Spread across his arm. Depending how long my arms are, if I can get to his wrist, I'll do that. Okay? Come a cat, throw straight. Alright? I throw straight, I've got my claws right here. You throw straight, his hands come up, I just come a cat right there. Just throw out his arms. Don't wind up, just slug. Alright, you understand that? Here we go. Partner up. What's going to happen? Alright? He's just going to start to pull his hand. As soon as he shoots him, go. Become a cat right now. Become a cat right now. I'm playing his feet, you can see his hand. Here we go. On your own. Hey, you can see him. By staring at his feet, I can see hands and elbows. Suddenly, there are no hands and elbows. That must have meant he shot his hand. That's when he's become a cat. So, scouts, fish, and give him the arm button a few times.
They'll pop up.
By standing under his feet, you'll see his belt and hands go right.
Hands come up, go. Become a hat, become a cat. Hold down. All right, let's just stick your hand in there.
Listen to this. He really liked doing this to Brett because he's getting him with bad intentions here. You can hear the clop.
Because even when we started this in practice with the Marietta kids, don't just stick your hand in
yeah,
there.
you got to go in there with mean intentions.
Yes.
Right? With the intent to do some damage.
Very good.
That's why
exactly
cats don't
right.
want to punch the dog. So don't be soft.
And he isn't soft here. You'll hear it.
Become a cat. Take a look at me real quick. Your hands come up. Go. Become a cat. Pull them down. All right, let's just stick your hand in there. Pull them down. All right, use your claw. Pull straight down. Here we go. Put that stick down. There you go. All right, I'm engaged. I'm already here. I'm shooting the tip like Johnson the cutoff. That's where I'm going to get you right now, isn't it? He starts to go on a walk. Go. He shot. I shot. Shot. He's going to break out. I break under. As soon as his hands come up, go. Become a cat right now. Woo! Become a cat right now. Make it quick. All right, so now we're going to be working the right hand, which is doing it on.
So what we're working, tight man, he breaks out, I'm under. Eyes on the feet, I can still see the hands of the belt. Hands disappear when the count, because the ball's coming on the out.
Shot. He's going to break out. I break under. As soon as his hands come up, go. Become a cat right now. Woo! Become a cat right now. Make it quick. All right, so now we're going to be working the right hand, which is doing it on when we're moving now. His hands shut, I become a cat. Right now, go straight.
Never look back.
Here we go. Everybody go now.
Turn up on that.
Where you stop. All right? I'm a cat, and I'm throwing the blow. Obviously, I'm a little bit pissed off, aren't I? All right? I'm going to do the cat finish something because he ain't mad. All right? Got to be violent. They punch to kill. They ain't going to kill nothing unless it's the mouth or something. But they do. All right? That's your dog partner. That is your worst enemy, ain't it? You hate the dog. All right? Your dog shows his hands, you become a cat. You throw straight, you throw quick, you throw hard. All right? With the intent to hurt pretty much, right? And that's what we got to think about on his hands. Get him down. All right? Don't be nice. All right? That's why we're a cat. Let's go. Here we go. Still being tight there. He starts to take off. Go. Give it there. He shot, back shot. He breaks out. I break under. He shows his hands. I become a cat. Ball's out there. He turns up. Get back over his head. Turn up. See how the play gets tight there? He shows his hands.
Scoot up a little bit.
So many guys yesterday were saying, he shows his hands.
So what's happening here? He comes up, he breaks out. He chops, he breaks out. He shows his hands. I become a catch. Now he turns up. Roll back under. Here he comes. He shows his hands. Now what? Working the left hand.
So we get to work two cats against the out and the up.
Very good.
Right?
Very thorough.
This would never happen, but the idea is you're working two different cats against two different routes.
You're working the right hand, and he pulls up. Now you're working
On
the
the
left
left
hand.
hand.
Very good.
Okay?
All right? He chops, I chop. He breaks out. He shows his hands. Become a cat. He turns it up. Get back in the ink. Chew his hip. We understand that? Here we go. Give yourself some room now. All right? He comes up. He starts to take off. Go. He chops, I chop. He breaks out. I break under. He shows his head. Become a cat. He turns up. Shows his hip. He comes up. Become a cat. You just round the hands up and take the football. All right? Become a cat. Now what we're doing, we're working our right. He turns up. We're working our left. All right? Plus now that's what's going to happen in the game. It turns out left, here comes the football. All right? Become a cat and get there. Here we go.
The cat in his hands of authority. Good then.
Good. There you go.
Yeah, that kick out better.
Very good. Just first guy.
Right. Throw straight. Do not wind up.
Good. There you go. Good. Takes off in the bend. I'm in a good position to make it. All right? If I'm behind, if I'm here, here's the tip. Hands come up. All right? We like to become a cat. Now, if I can make it, all right? Now, first off, a lot of times you can tell when a guy's pushing deep without cutting back. All right? High school can take the fast 15. There he goes. All right? College is anywhere from 18 to 20. He's taking off. You can tell when a guy's taking off. All right? What we want to do is this. What we're going to get to eventually is if his hands come up, mine go to the basket.
Now, what we're talking about here is this. We're talking about going through the basket on a nut ball or a fade in the end zone. If I'm not in a position to make, if I'm trailing too far, you better become a cat. No doubt about it. Right? If you're ever in doubt, you become a cat.
Right.
What we're talking about here is I'm in good position to make a play. Now his hands come up, and now I go through the basket. Okay? That's what we're talking about. If you're ever in doubt, it's just like shimmying. If you're ever in doubt, you shimmy.
Okay.
Right? Between shimmy and profile, if you're unsure what it is, you shimmy. Make the play.
Right.
Right? If you're ever in doubt on the up, if I should become a cat or go through the basket, you become a cat.
Makes sense.
See, Tim could have been an All-American corner. If we were teaching him to shoot into the basket if he's in great position, what we would have the receiver do instead of ever hold a ball up
Hold
to
the
show
beer
it to
can.
us. No, not the beer can. We'd hold it up to Southwest Peanuts, and he'd get his hands right into the peanuts. You always give your guys things that they understand. So he would have been an All-American corner. Hey, it could happen. He stepped up it.
As I give the hip check, turn my eyes up and back. The reason we do that is to show the ref we're looking for the ball. We're not looking for the ball. All right? But you got to show them you are, you're going to get called for pass interference.
All right. We go through the basket. We go through the basket and we get
Get up
into
in
him.
front of the screen, son.
As his hands come up, I shoot my hand into his hands. As I come up and get my hips into him, lean back into him. But the big thing is get your eyes up and back. Show the ref you're looking for the football. Because if all you ever did was that,
Right.
all right, depending on who it is, you're either going to call it or not call it.
Right.
But you got to be making a play on the football. So you got to get your eyes up and back while the ball's coming down.
Yeah, because of the trajectory of the ball like that on the fade of the upright.
Right.
He's not moving. As soon as his hands come up, go. All I want you to do is shoot your hands straight to the basket.
That's the first thing we're doing, is shooting the hands into the basket when we teach it. Shoot your hands into the basket, because if you don't, you're going to get a kid in a game. Here he comes, the guy's hands come up. No shit has happened to us. Right? He just goes up. Right? As he starts to fade into the guy, but his hands just came straight up as he looked back. You got to get your hands in the basket. Okay?
Right. Very good.
And now, obviously, too, we're doing all this stuff on a walk, and we'll speed it up, too. But what you got to do with your kids, you got to get them working fades. They've got to, jump.
Right.
Because that's
Right.
most often when it happens, right? He comes up, he's got to jump. Now, you've got to get your kids working what? Jump.
Right.
Lean into it, right? Now it's more of almost getting your shoulder into them as I get my hands in the basket.
A really good thing to do when David Blake did coach Colorado State and San Diego State and all the places for years, and he's retired now. He used to coach at Sweetwater High School in San Diego. And a really good thing that they did as far as practice in the season, their DBs, quarterbacks, and receivers would come out a little early. They're already stretched out and everything, right? Right before practice, from the 5-yard line, they're going to one-on-one. The DBs and the wideout, one-on-one at the start of practice before everybody else is out.
Really?
And that's when they covered their tight man, because they were predominantly a zone football team, but they knew they had to play some tight man. So they always did it right away when they're fresh, and it was full go. You know, all these things that Kyle are talking about, going a half a side at a time, it's really a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
We'll show you examples of that after a while.
Shoot your head straight to the basket. You got your stand at. Take a look at it. That's the basket. Get my hand through his hand. All right? Shoot up. It's up. Into the basket. Here we go. This is one. This is on the fade.
So basically what we're trying to get is his arms are up. We're trying to get one hand inside here, as his arms are here, and the other one's going to end up just outside. All right, so stand up.
Yeah.
So your hands are up. We're trying to almost come here.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Very good.
Okay, this is how we play. If I'm trailing too far, become a cat. Follow the position to make a play. All right, let's go straight to the basket. Here we go. Good. Just work on getting your hands through. Good.
Trying to get one hand inside here, as his arms are here, and the other one's going to end up just outside. Alright, so stand up. So your hands are up. We're trying to almost come here. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, now we play. If I'm trailing too far, become a cat. While there's a position to make a play. Alright, go straight to the back. Here we go. Good. Just work on getting your hands through. Good. 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 That's when you get the near hand through. Split the hand. Shoot your hand straight through it. Not yet. Work on getting your hands through that. You start to keep that too early. What you're going to end up doing is going.
What's nice about splitting his hands, you've seen a lot of receivers can catch the ball in the A hand. Suddenly the extra hands there, it's like it really messes them up. It's like they have paddles all of a sudden in their hands. You know, my hand's too big. So get that near hand through, get it right down the middle if you can, right? And you can't see it if you don't look at it.
Right.
Now your eyes got to go up and back a little for your fistal, but it's more like, see where my eyes are? I'm showing him up and back, but my eyes are going for his hands. And that's enough that you're not going to get called for interference.
Backing off the ball, too, man.
The kid that did that actually tipped the ball,
To
too.
the basket, good. That's phase number one. That's where I'm going to get you. My hand to the basket.
Save us again.
Right on.
We'll do that in a second. All right, here we go. Here's my partner. He shows me a hand. I got my hand through. Go. Now, right now, give the hip check on the basketball. Give him a hip check right now. His head shows. Go. Give him a hip check. That's all we want. Give him a hip check. Like in basketball, give him a hip check. All right, you understand that? Here we go.
So what? Lean back on the guy.
Give him a hip check. As soon as I shoot my hand, give him a hip check. Keep my hands to the basket. Now, hey, big thing. If my guy starts to move, right here. If I give him a hip check, go. He starts to move. Better stay with him.
Fade into it with him.
All right, don't hit it and let it fly. Stay on him. All right, put your body weight back into him. Lean on him. Give him a hip check. Good. We'll go over that in a second. Break it down for me. Okay, understand. It's wiggly.
Hey, Kyle.
If they jump, they can start jumping.
Turn around. Face this way when you do it.
Good. Give the hip check. Get your hands in the basket first. Better get your hands in the basket. Good. All right, here we go.
This guy played at Virginia Tech.
All right, now pay attention. He came up, his hands came up. All right, that's how fast I get my hands in the basket, give him a hip check, snap my eyes up and back right now. Get him up and back. The ball is coming this way. All right, it's coming down, isn't it? Get him up and back. All right, because when the kids get good, they can start to pick it off. But we're playing for the incompletion. It's how fast, as soon as I get the hip check, I can snap my eyes up and back. What we want is to be simultaneous. You know what I'm saying? At the same time, you just cover it as it comes up. Boom, right now. Okay? Take a look at me. Here we go. Go. Right now. Gotta be at the same time. If he starts moving, stay lean into him. Keep your hip into him. If he starts falling, stay into him. Alright? Stay into him. Here we go. Top back, check, body check, hip check.
Keep your hands in the basket. Doing all this stuff, yes. Right.
Good, man. Good. Your hands in the basket. Your hands are in the basket. Get them there. All right? Your hands in the basket is number one. Get them there. Good. Keep your hands together, coach. Keep them together as much as possible. If I'm wide, there's separation. There's the football from right between them. There you go. Good. Give that. He's going to start the walk. I'm going to start the walk. He took you up. All right, he took you up. I'm going to start the walk from the receiver. Put your hands up, look back. Let the ball coming. basket. All right, that's where the ball is going. Get that first before I ever do head check and start my eyes back. What's going to happen is if the kids are thinking the other things first, go. If they don't go, they're going to start doing this. Their hands aren't going to the basket, you're still catching the football. Get your hands in the basket right now. Then I'll do the head check and snap my eyes back. All right, here we go. On the walk now. As soon as his hands come up, get your hands in the basket, get the hip check, and get your eyes up and back. If I can, get you the hip check, get my eyes up and back. Don't worry about it. Get your hands in the basket, that's the big thing. Here we go. All right, if he comes up for it, I go up with it. All right, I go up with it. What you got to do first is have to start to go on the tippy toes. Now take off, start to go on the tippy toes. And then start going from there. So they get it.
Start them on a walk, stay on the ground, then they walk and almost go on their tippy toes. That's going to start to elevate you anyway.
What you got to do first is have to start to go on the tippy toes.
I thought it was tiptoes.
Now take off,
Tippy
start to go on the tippy toes. And then start to jump from there. So
Did you also take a tinkle?
All right, we understand that.
I did.
By leg, come tap. Okay? Come a tap. By leg, come straight across, come a tap. If I'm on time to make a play, get your hips into it. All right, do your hip check. Get your hands in the basket right now. Yes, sir.
What's your time frame? How long does it take to go through all of this?
We break it down what we do this flat. It depends on how much tight man you run. You've got to get your top to goal line. And if we're doing goal line, we're not going to do first by first. You know what I'm saying? If they're going to chop, we can do that break taken out. You better want the dog out of this. Alright? Especially when you start playing college guys that all the time. And they'll make it. They're good. Alright? They'll start outside, boom, slap off them right back under. Better not a quick turn.
It's like that waxing on the
Alright? We get this taught, you know, because what's nice is you're playing the TV man. The only thing that changes is instead of shooting the hips, right? That has no help. 2D man under, I have help. I'm the trail man. Take my hand, full man back, full man inside. Still playing the feet. You chop, side chop. Alright? You chop, side chop. Now the thing about 2D man under is he snaps it out, so he snaps his eyes back, puts his hands up, go. I can look back now. Well, I've got help on top. If he turned it up, there's safety back there. You guys understand that? That's the difference. It really doesn't take that long.
I think he asked about the time.
All right? Because you're flying through it. I mean, it starts with teaching. Once they got it, you know, you think they've got to go.
Should have been a politician, son.
You know,
Never answered the
It
question.
doesn't take that long, man.
And once they understand, you get to the
Because we teach this last
Yeah.
after the zone stuff.
Yeah.
Well, you told him is
Okay, that's
how
going
much
to take the
man you
longest
play.
part of it.
I mean,
Yeah.
It's teaching how to get to the fellow.
right?
It doesn't,
Anything else I do,
really doesn't take that long.
Get there.
I mean, you do it right, they should know how to cat anyway from zone.
Face, tight hand, and then face.
You know, they should know how to go
Now,
to the
some of you guys
basket on
need
the
1
fade,
second, because it's going to
on the
happen.
up route. So, I mean, basically, you're teaching them the punches in the beginning, you're teaching them how to chop, and break out and break under. You're just adding the other stuff with it.
All right, then face beautiful. Face, tight hand, and then face.
Now we're into
Okay,
catching.
now, some of you guys need to work seconds, but it's going to happen. All right? Catch man.
Now, you've got to work this in case they go against, what, a flanker or a slot. They're going to be off the ball. They're not going to be able to get in the guy's face. All right? So we teach tight man, base tight man, and we'll teach catch man. At least those two.
I might want to be up in his face. That might be all we do. But what happens if I get a flanker? I'm off this far, aren't I? I'm off about here. Okay? Now there's a distance. I don't want to step and punch. You know, I don't need to. So we got to use some shuffle, we got to use some glide. You got to play coming to, good thing, or you got to stop. Alright? Do what I got to do with my feet, stay 50-50, do it inside pass. Alright? Teach you the shuffle. We're here. Alright? My eyes are on his belt. He takes off, just barely by the corner on the left. He takes off, just barely inside of me. Do what I got to do with my feet, stay 50-50, do it inside pass. I'll shuffle. Alright, get my feet down quick. If I'm coming to, we teach you to shuffle anyway. If I'm coming to the corner, I square the bounce, you start stepping inside me, I got to shuffle to stay 50-50 outside that. So I can jam, look, carry 3 steps, right? Same thing in tight man. Alright, we'll just teach you to shuffle. Get your feet down popping up, don't be bringing your shoulders over. Alright? What we're going to do, everybody's up. Now he breaks outside a bit. Just outside me, shuffle. Do what I got to do today, 50-50 arm. Now when you rock back, jack your step down. Jack your step down. Rock back. Jack it down. They should be pretty good at that by now. Here we go. Step. Boom. Rock back. Step. Good. Go, step. Boom. Rock back. Step. Good. All right. Stand up. Now, you start to go way inside me. All right. I glide. And I'm like number 2. I was gliding 3 steps. Alright, now if I didn't get there, I'd break off the hole. So now I gotta keep on coming. And honestly, if I decline for more than 3 steps and time to catch man, I'd probably have to turn it over and do it anyway to get there. Alright? Here we go. I'm glide. You break it down this slow. I'm gonna glide toward inside first. Now I can become a heel quicker. Alright? It's getting way inside of me or way outside. If you say it's getting wide, I'm gonna glide. That's wide inside or outside. Say he came straight down the derrick and turned up. I'd be in glide as long as I couldn't stay 50-50. If I can't, I'd open it up. Now say if for some reason it came straight down the derrick, maybe snap it out. Alright, if I came here, I could probably just open up. So if I started to run and he came out, if he's beside me, that's a quick turn, what's that? Alright, so all glide. Here we go, let's glide. This is our here. Every time I say glide, take a huge step. Glide. Kind of heel flicking now. Heels come together. Glide. 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 That's all we want. Does you say that?
Turn off the tape, turn on the light. What's happening?